Reading should be fun, right? It is a foundation skill for lifelong learning. So for our club, gifting the tools to help kids develop the skills to learn is a major focus. Learning Link's Reading for Life program does just that. Principals Jock and Leone from Lake Cadai and Telegraph Point public schools knew that this program's one-on-one support would have an immediate impact. Over the course of the program, they watched these kids blossom, growing in self-esteem and doing high fives because they got it. Their reading accuracy, comprehension and sight words came along in leaps and bounds. Teachers are the linchpin that recognises the potential in kids, and as we will hear from Kelly King a bit later, children with dyslexia can be extremely intelligent. They just need the right mechanism to learn. 3 years ago, Kelly and Joe started our local dyslexia support group. In this time, they have made amazing inroads into raising awareness for dyslexia and supported teachers to become specialists in closing the gap for these special kids so that they are equals in the classroom. The next Albert Einstein or Isaac Newton may have competed in last year's annual Mathletics Challenge. Watching the speed of these kids racing through the questions with nerves of steel in front of a packed audience was pretty cool in our eyes. It didn't matter whether they won or lost. The magic of the event came from watching their smiles as they looked out to see mum or dad's reaction when they finished. Dreams of being an engineer or an astronaut may be reality for the extremely talented young adults from Hastings Secondary College Westport campus who competed in the World Robotics Competition. Supported by parents, teachers and the community, the team competed against 408 teams from around the world. One of the most memorable moments of their trip to Texas wasn't so much beating the NASA team, although they were pretty chuffed about that, but actually having the opportunity to visit the NASA facility, a memory they will treasure forever. Worry no more, as the Worry Woos are here to help. Centre Director Deborah from Hastings Long Day Care Centre proudly sent us these drawings from Charlotte, Thomas and Kailani, showing how they have chased away the worry bug. These kids and nearly 4,000 others in our region are learning the skills to combat anxiety, frustration, jealousy and self-image through our new innovative program, which we believe is a game changer for our youth. Presenting the Worry Woos kits to 40 schools and early learning centres was one of our proudest moments this year. Receiving those drawings just gave us goosebumps. Sporting clubs would not exist if it wasn't for the many volunteers who keep the club running. Our many sporting clubs have a host of heroes who continue to be progressive and innovative whilst delivering the basic fundamentals of the game to their players. A silver medal for the Diamonds at the Commonwealth Games and the popularity of the ANL continues to make netball a very popular sport. Port Saints Netball Club are leaders in developing programs for players, coaches and umpires. We congratulate Lee, Megan and their team on providing this specialist support. The club also give back to the community, and Headspace was the recipient of fundraising efforts from the 30+ teams in the Port Saints Club early this year. Port Macquarie Rugby Union Club can be described as one big family. With the introduction of the women's competition last year, these girls have added enormous value to the club on and off the field. The club demonstrates as a whole the fun and camaraderie sport provides at the grassroots. The commitment of the players has yielded benefits for the women's team, who currently are sitting on top of the leaderboard. We wish all their teams the very best for the forthcoming final. Port Macquarie Basketball Association has devoted volunteers, with Jason, Mark and John having been a driving force to ensure basketball is accessible to people of all ages and abilities. Their Aussie Hoops and Dolphin Academy programs are fun ways to progress children's basketball skills, and it involves players giving back to the younger generation. Like Maddie, who just competed in a national competition representing New South Wales country under-16s. Last year was the 50th anniversary for the Port Macquarie Basketball Association. Congratulations on this milestone anniversary. Watching basketball on the big screen in our community lounge brings out the passion these players have for the game. Our Community Grants program gifts opportunities that would not have necessarily been possible, and this certainly was the case for the Wheelchair Sports Basketball program, which kicked off in Port Macquarie last year. Helping provide exposure for the program, Riley Batt and Andrew Edmondson have supported the volunteers, providing a fun morning where people with disabilities get to play a fun game of basketball. Port Macquarie will host the Aboriginal Elders Olympics in 2019, following the success of Port Macquarie's Indigenous Biripi Elders team winning the 2018 Games in April. Cindy, Gloria, Rudy and Rita, with Elders teammates, competed in the 2 days of competition. Plans are underway to make the Port Macquarie Games the best yet, welcoming teams from across 29 Indigenous communities. Have you ever tried lawn bowls? We'd encourage you to come in and have a roll up. Our club was founded through lawn bowls 60 years ago this October. Paul, Kay, Ronnie and Marg, together with their club members, continue to hold the values of this foundation today. The game is fun but challenging at the same time. There is also some serious competition played out on the greens, especially when large cash prizes are up for grabs. The Port Macquarie Annual Mixed Pairs Tournament, which we hosted in 2017, offers $7,500 in prize money. Maybe a friendly Intersports Club Barefoot Bowls Challenge could be arranged. The sound of the massive motorbikes going by makes people stand up and take notice. That was Luke Hartsuka's goal when his charity ride rolled into port last August to raise awareness of organ and tissue donation. Luke led 80 bikers on the trek from Coffs to Port, concluding their ride at our club to enjoy a barbecue lunch cooked by the Tacking Point Lions Club and topped off with a coffee from Hastings Coffee Co. In 2016 they endured torrential rain. In 2017 there were gale-forced winds, but neither could dampen the spirits of the participants or organisers of the Mother's Day Classic Fun Run and Walk. Carmen, Kylie and their team of volunteers coordinated a wonderful event this year, which saw a sea of pink charge through the arch to start the Classic at Westport Park. It has been our pleasure to be major sponsors of this event for the past 2 years and to support the Mother's Day Classic through our pink high tea. It was so touching watching Hazel and Gerald lovingly holding hands whilst walking us through Port's dementia-friendly garden. Listening to them speak passionately on how this garden has made such a positive impact on dementia sufferers, telling us about the support it brings to their carers, knowing they can leave their loved ones to wander around in a safe and beautiful environment. Our club has worked with Gary Thomas and his team funding the planter boxes that completed the garden. Sarah, who is a person living with dementia, looks forward every week to her time in the garden, as do the other volunteers who maintain this tranquil oasis in the middle of town. When we talk about good people doing great things, our local domestic violence liaison officer, Karen Bleasdale, comes to mind. Karen knows the value of a chat over a coffee. What better way to deliver a powerful but subtle message that enough is enough when it comes to domestic violence than on a coffee cup sleeve? Karen's initiative, Cup Awareness, was born through her want to see a reduction in our community's statistics of domestic violence incidences. 50,000 coffee cups covered by a sleeve with contact numbers for domestic violence support services were handed over counters in 60 coffee outlets, including ours, last November. Another initiative that receives enormous community support is the White Ribbon Walk. It was such a hot day, so the walkers were appreciative of our team members Nicole and Mel spraying cool water on them as they passed Shelley Beach. Mind you, they had fun spraying each other too. This event was a strong demonstration by locals that as a community, we will stand up, speak out and act to prevent any act of domestic violence. Marine Rescue New South Wales are a 24/7 first emergency response organisation solely run by volunteers. They are a tight group who all have a passion for giving back to the community. You'll be hearing from our Marine Rescue volunteers a little later, but we wanted to acknowledge the support their volunteers provided on Clean Up Australia Day in March. We retrieved some very interesting items out of the water that day, but Tegan's find and Ali's display of the sewing machine was the highlight, especially with the note attached saying, "In good working order." No one takes on a volunteer role with the view to be recognised or rewarded. In August 2017, our club hosted the Centre for Volunteering Regional Awards. Congratulations to Meg Cameron for her work with Cerebral Palsy Alliance, Volunteer Marine Rescue Port Macquarie, and to Lifeline Mid-North Coast, who received the top awards late last year. With volunteering contributing $290 billion to Australia's economic and social good, these awards are vital in acknowledging those contributions, and we aim to make tonight a way of saying thanks as well. Philip Morton from the Rollins Plains Reserve Trust can quote off the top of his head the value of volunteer labour for community projects. It is confirmed that people who give back to the community live healthier, happier lives. This is so true of the Rollins Plains community. Not only do they put on the best morning tea with a caramel slice to die for, but the 12-hectare facility, among some of the beautiful countryside in our region, is impressive to say the least, and they are so proud. Their equine centre and community hall, camping ground facilities, new shed and entertainment facility are all worth seeing. Their new project is to fit out the kitchen for the new facility, but we're sure there's more to come. The Hastings Businesswomen's Network is an organisation of local women who come together to exchange ideas and information in a social environment. The network provides events and professional development opportunities aimed at inspiring members to achieve their goals, whilst having a sense of belonging within a supportive group. The committee, all run by volunteers, devote hours to strengthening the network. If you'd like to know more about the Hastings Businesswomen's Network, Mel Haverfield hosts monthly coffee catch-ups in Hastings Coffee Co. on the last Tuesday of each month. The Salvation Army makes a difference in someone's life every 31 seconds. Hence, they play a vital role in our community, offering hope where it's needed most. We have worked with Greg for over 10 years, and Debbie too, who has just retired. The Salvo's long and established history makes them one of the most trusted welfare organisations in our society. The only entertainment at our first Christmas Under the Stars in 2007 was the Salvo's Band and Choir, playing to a crowd of less than 200. Haven't we come a long way? Donations from Christmas Under the Stars, the Harley-Davidson Toy Run and the Red Shield Appeal all support local programs. Our team love volunteering for the Door Knock Appeal through our roadside collection point next to the Scout Hall. You may not know that local members of the Salvation Army may be your colleague, children's teacher or a neighbour who proudly put on the uniform and give back to the community. Volunteers are worth their weight in gold. You share your time and talents without ever asking for anything in return. You are passionate, you work long hours, you are compassionate, you provide leadership and lessen the burden for others. Tonight, our aim is to help you, the helpers of our community. We are proud to acknowledge your contributions through the grants we are about to present, which we hope will go a long way to achieving your goals.
What made you join Rotary?
Because someone asked me. It's as simple as that. The Helping Hands is making prosthetic hands for landmine victims and others in mainly Cambodia, Thailand and Sri Lanka. The prosthetic hands cost us $500 for the 43 pieces that make up one hand. And we just arranged to purchase 10 of these. The outcome was 10 completed hands. We placed them in plastic sachets, which a couple of our members and their children decorated, saying Port Macquarie West Rotary Club. A local cluster project of the 5 clubs in this area. And Neville had this idea that there was a need for a community centre for all sorts of organisations to be able to use at low cost and with good facilities. So he set about involving builders and the other Rotary clubs in fundraising and providing in-kind support, and within 2 years we had a very good community centre built. And it's used by many, many different organisations during day and at night as well. It's got a full commercial kitchen, it's got storage facilities as well, and it would take about 100 people or so sitting down, and people go there and have dinners and meetings, and quite a few different not-for-profit organisations make use of it. The 100,000 million project. It's tied up with the New South Wales Government's container deposit scheme. So our project aim is to collect 1 million containers and claim the 10 cents on each one, which is $100,000. We're engaging with businesses as well as with households. So we're hoping that we'll have at least 1,000 households as part of our network partnering with us. It's a big organisation, and because of that it can do wonderful things. Locally there's always lots that can be done. Many organisations need support. Saleability was something we created as a club. Endeavour Clubhouse is one that we visited last year and realised just how important that organisation is in mental health rehabilitation work. So you get a lot of satisfaction from helping other people through organisations like those.
Well, saleability commenced here in Port Macquarie in late 2011. We are a volunteer not-for-profit organisation. We have around 90 volunteers, and our purpose is to provide to people with disabilities the chance to participate in the sport of sailing. We have a crew of around 30 volunteers at Macanoni Park each Wednesday. That's just not the task of getting people from the shore into the boats. It's also the sailors. We need a crew for the pontoon. We need a catering crew. Many of our guests have intellectual disabilities, but they are perfectly able-bodied. They are able to get themselves in and out of the dinghies, but probably half of the 50 or 60 guests who come down each Wednesday need to be assisted out of their wheelchairs into the boat and at the conclusion out of the boat. Now, to do that operation, we have special little personnel hoists. It's not just about sailing. It gives these people with disabilities the chance to participate in the community activity. It does wonders for their self-esteem and their confidence.
We actually supplied funds to furnish one of the rooms, which is a $5,000 donation to refurbish one of the new units. Rotary, we're very proud of the fact that our name is worldwide, and if you'd like to join, I'd love you to come along and see what we do at meetings and enjoy some of the community work that we do outside of meetings.
Port Macquarie Sea Scouts is one of many Sea Scout groups throughout the world. They are youth-led, leader-supported organisation, which means that each group has got a majority of youth members. Our particular group has about 60 youth members, supported by 11 leaders, and we've got another leader in training who's come up through the ranks. She started off as a Joey Scout, our youngest, and now she's just about to become a leader herself. We're so excited. At the moment, we're just bringing in the new age range for the Joey Scouts. We used to run from 6 to 8, but now we can accept children as young as 5 if they are enrolled in school. Ranges all the way from now 5 years old until they're 18 and older. We prepare the youth for life and giving them their life skills basically. We've got a lot of badges, and so they can earn badges in a number of different areas. Everything from making sure they can cook and use appliances, right through to the main crux of it, which is their survival skills. So if they were out in the bush, they know what to do, how to survive in the bush, how to help others in the bush. And one of our biggest goals here is community involvement and supporting the community. We do a lot of activities in the hall, ranging from badge work nights to community visitors come to the hall. We've had, with my section, the Joey Scouts, we've had a snake man come and teach the Joey Scouts all the dangers about snakes, but the wonderful things about snakes as well. Here we've got a really good mix of activities here at the hall, but then we also venture out into the community as well, going on treks, going on hikes, camping. If we're staying at the hall but going outside, we'll often do a lot of activities out here. We've got the canoes and we've got the boats, and we've got fitness groups who come in and use the hall, and they find it a great facility. We have young children's parties in here, and we also offer one of our rooms upstairs for meetings. Oh, this grant is fantastic. It's going to allow us to get new blinds for the hall, so for sunblock and for security for the windows in here, and also in our dens for security.
Our primary aims with starting Dyslexia Support Mid-North Coast was to raise awareness in our local community. 1 in 5 children struggle to learn to read due to dyslexia. Our aim was to increase that awareness and also upskill teachers to provide our children in the Hastings region with the best opportunity possible. Our Reading is Rocket Science project. The aim of that is to provide teachers with the opportunity to participate in a very intensive 5-day training program that's operated by the Multi-Sensory Structured Language Institute. Provides them with the science behind reading that enables them to not only teach and reach children with dyslexia, but also teach and reach children, every child in their classroom, to learn to read. So the training, as I said, is a 5-day intensive program, but then to complete the course actually is a 12-month process. They tell me is that it's been life-changing for them, life-changing for the students in their classroom, and in addition to that they've also been able to embed the pedagogy that they've learnt into the schools where they teach, and train the teachers and the teachers' aides that operate within the schools in our region. Provides us with the opportunity then to have that ripple effect of that knowledge sharing. We like the lighthouse here at Tacking Point. Very bright red. Shine a beacon for awareness. Last year we had over 37 monuments across the country light at red simultaneously on the 15th of October. The red is symbolic of actually reclaiming the power of that red pen that often gets marked all over the kids' work. The teachers that I met every year were, very supportive and very sympathetic and empathetic, but it was very clear that they didn't have the training that they needed to support children in their classrooms. That was really what sort of motivated us to start the Reading is Rocket Science program. Technology is also making a huge difference. It is a real game changer for people who struggle with literacy and things like text-to-speech and speech-to-text technology. They're game changers in the classroom as well as they can be in the workplace. Break down that stigma around intelligence and the correlation between whether people can read and write, because there is really actually no correlation between intelligence and dyslexia. A lot of people with dyslexia are highly intelligent. People with dyslexia have a slightly different brain function which helps them actually think outside the box. So if their spelling is a little bit poor, that doesn't necessarily mean that they can't, that they're not capable of doing the job.
Today should be calm as calm.
Over the last 12 months we have rescued 322 people. There's been over 24,000 radio calls at the radio base. About 60 of them have been rescued on this vessel, on Port Macquarie 30, and the rest have been done on a combination of 20 and 10. 20 is our RIB, that's one of our quick response vessels that can get out to the bar in a couple of minutes, and our jet skis are for close water in shallow channels, so we can get right up in the estuaries and rivers to save people up there too, which we have done quite a few of. We have 143 volunteers at Marine Rescue Port Macquarie. 40 are up at the radio base, 38 are here on boat crew, and the rest are all recruiting and fundraising, mostly the fundraising team, which are the backbone to our unit, as mentioned. Without them we wouldn't work. We need to raise $110,000 a year to stay operational. We're not government funded, but we do get a percentage from the boat licence fees, which gives us about $24,000 a year. We spend that usually in the first month. We might go months without a rescue, and then other days we have done up to 13 in one day. So it just all depends on the day, the weather, the amount of people around, holiday season, all that sort of stuff. It's in the river as well, up to Warhead. It can be all the way up to there, all the way up to line burners, all the extras we got. Our boat crew, one of the conditions for them is they have to live within 10 minutes of the base, so that if on call they can get in, and it usually takes about 10 minutes to do all our checks, put our life jackets on and get the boat to water. We've usually gone within 10.
This facility was built by the community, for the community, ultimately built by a Work for the Dole program. It took another 4 years to be able to open that program because there was no one was going to fund anything that at that stage didn't have, couldn't show its outcomes. So on the back of some great support from the local community, some wonderful one-off grants from carers, and the support of the Schizophrenia Fellowship of New South Wales, this facility was able to be opened 4 years later. Our mission is for, I suppose, de-siloing the service delivery of mental health recovery in the Hastings. There's a lot of people that are very unwell. We predominantly deal with moderate to severe mental health recovery. One of the key areas is getting someone out of the home, building their confidence, building their self-esteem, and helping them become more socially inclusive. So Endeavour is a safe place for people to come that's free from discrimination and stigma, but it's for an area for people to make friends. So then we then start to look at, everyone has some multitude of skills hidden, and it's to help bring those skills out. So over the last 2 years, we've had more than 150 of our members do accredited and non-accredited courses, and they can range from moving forwards with confidence, introduction to computers, introductions to hospitality, introduction to construction. Part of one of our construction courses, what we do, we make pallet furniture. We make Christmas trees, we make toolboxes. Whatever we take to the gift fair, we sell out of everything. And we've got volunteers of guys that have retired, that have worked in the men's sheds. They come along and work with our members to help them with the specific skills, those construction type skills. They built our gardens. You just look at these bank of 12 computers that have access whenever our doors are open to our members, and to run accredited courses, but look at their emails, look at their social media, help them put together resumes, help them put together job applications, so they get a lot of use as well. Part and parcel of the clubhouse model is that everything here is done by the members. Everything that you see here, the artwork, the cleaning, the cooking, the maintenance, everything is done using the members. It gives them a great feel of ownership. This is their clubhouse. We can't be the be-all and end-all for everybody. We have our specialist niches, and I think that's the big thing is do what you can do. If you cannot, you need to be able to provide that information. Advocacy is so important, and if people feel that Endeavour is a great place to just see, does that meet my needs or do I need something else? Well, that's still a role that we play that is very, very important. We've got more than 25 people over the last 2.5 years who are back in open wage employment. Now that may be 1 to 2 days, maybe 4 or 5 days. We've got 20 plus people that have never worked in their life that are now volunteering for other organisations. And the real success of our facility is people moving forward in their recovery. This is the greatest job in the world. I mean, there's not too many people that can go home and say every night that in some little way, today we've made a difference to someone's life, and that's very, very rewarding.